Counter-Strike skins are more than cosmetics in a video game. Your skill and your popularity in Counter-Strike is deterred off your CS loadout. So in this video, I made a $500 loadout for all those broke people who just got their first check at McDonald's and willing to spend a little bit of cheddar on the game. Now, before I pick apart each skin and say why I picked these ones, I will say I didn't pick a skin for every single gun. I only picked skins for the necessary guns that you're going to be using in this game. So I have no skins for like a PP Bison, the M249, the Scar, guns like that. I only got skins for the necessary guns in this game so we can fit in the budget. Now when it comes to pistols and Counter-Strike, they're going to be I think they're going to be the second most valuable thing in your inventory alongside your knife and glove combo, only because how often you have these guns out. So for the main default pistols, each one's going to be about $10 I decided on, and for the UPS I decided to go with the stainless. Now the stainless is such a classic skin in Counter-Strike, and also, dude, this is like crazy Splinter Cell vibes. And for a lot of UPS skins, this doesn't break the bank. Now for the second important pistol, your Glock 18. I ended up choosing the Sand Dune. It's a very versatile skin, very utilitarian, and honestly, everybody knows Sand Dune skins. Everybody loves Sand Dune skins. With this one, I went field tested. It's gonna cost a lot less, unlike factory new, which is like $400, I think. So, okay. That's way out of the budget. Now for the P250, I am going with the mint kimonos. These are a really affordable P250 skin, and also it's super pattern based. You can get patterns where it's almost basically all white on the gun, or you can just get patterns that are all white on the barrel, which is also very clean. Overall, there's a lot of good old collection skins that are affordable that I'll show off more later. Now for our last pistol, it's going to be for the Deagle, and I chose the Mutter. The Mutter skin has just like underground like swag, if you know what I mean. It's just like, it's so unparalleled to a lot of skins in CS, where you know you gotta have a flashy skin. If it's not flashy, it's not cool. This is simple, and also one of the best crafts in the whole game is a Battle Scar Mutter with 2 iBuyPilot hollows and a Titan hollow. That craft is like top 10 in Counter-Strike history. It's just so unparalleled. But with that being said, let's move on to the SMGs. Now for our first SMG, I chose the Candy Apple Mac 10. This is a very basic skin. This is like the white t-shirts of Counter-Strike skins. But overall, sometimes you just need a white or black t-shirt and you can just make that work. You know, sometimes you gotta remember, a little can go a long way, so yes. Okay, now this skin is gonna be for the last 10 people who are still using the MP9 in the big 2026. And that is the Army Sheen. I chose this one because how cheap it is. It's like 60 cents, and also from an old collection, the Control collection, which, you know, if you want to start investing in Counter-Strike skins, that's not a bad collection to start investing in. Not gonna lie. It has the blue phosphorus. And that's pretty much it. The op fade is pretty ass, not gonna lie. Well, overall, you know, if you want to dip your toes in the CS investing scene, I think the Army Sheen is not a bad place to start. Now for the MP7, I chose the Short Ochre. This skin is just beautiful. It has only 2 colors, and those colors are putting in goddamn overtime right now. The colors just work so well with each other. For how perfect the colors are, this gun, it's only 2 cents. 2 doubloons. Now with that being said, these are the SMGs I chose. These are the only SMGs you should be using in the game unless you're a troll. But with that being said, let's move on to the rifles. Okay, now for the rifles, I chose the Galil. Overall, this is a decent rifle. It's very basic in my opinion, but honestly, if you get a little creative with it, you throw some weed stickers on this and have yourself a little budget hydroponic for the Galil. You know, that's $1 million idea right there. But overall, it's just a basic skin in my opinion. Nothing too crazy. Now for the FAMAS, I chose the Jin. The Jin is one of the most underrated FAMAS skins. Never mind, scratch that. One of the most underrated skins in general. It's so tough looking. Like if you're a big like Opium fan, or like you're looking for like a good skin for an all black loadout too, dude, you gotta go with the Jin. But overall, dude, the artwork on this skin looks like it would be like on a gang member, like a MS-13 or like Yakuza. It's so tough looking. And I'll say this before, yo, everyone, yo, buy your Dijins now before the price raise up after this video. Let's move on to the N4s. Now for the N4s, this all decides if you're an N4S player or an N4 player. But to fit the budget, you only can choose one of these skins. So this is all up to your preference now. Now for the N4, I end up going with the full throttle. Now I will say this is well worn. But for a well worn skin, this shit is tough looking. This shit looks mean. When I look at this skin, dude, it looks like an Evo Lancer. And like I said before, this is well worn, but for well worn, it doesn't look that bad. Honestly, yeah, it's a little rough around the edges, but it is still a nice play skin. Now if you're going for the M4S, I have chosen the M4S Solitude. This is a drastic change. This is a polar opposite of the full throttle. This is more for like your monks, your skin for the Kung Fu masters. Overall, I love the skin and how pattern based it is. And this is like one of the few skins where you don't got plenty of stickers on. But it does depend on what pattern you get. This one has the double white suns, or you can get a center red sun, extremely pattern based. And there's so many of these, they go for pretty cheap, like 40 bucks. All you gotta do is just find like a decent pattern one that you like. Now for the AK-47, I chose a basic one, but it's kind of a sleeper though, in my opinion, and that is the Vari camo. This is like the silent mogger. Now, in my opinion, the Vari camo, it just looks like a basic Call of Duty camo, and that's fine. But you need to remember, simple skins can do very little, but also do a lot at the same time. But for the skin, you don't need to get 50 kills or whatever. All you need to do is spend like 3 cents. This shit is cheap. But with that being said, let's move on to the ops. Now for the op, I chose the Atheris. Now the Atheris is the best budget op skin in Counter-Strike. It's just nothing can beat this whatsoever. It's like a mini dragon lore, but instead of a dragon, you got a little serpent snake. Shit looks iced out. But if there was like a top, if I was making like, you know, the best budget skins in all CS history, this would probably be, you know, top 10. Just how like the scope is all scaly and all the green accents on the scope, it's very clean. But overall, this is a good $4 skin that you can get. Now for the gloves, I chose probably the sexiest gloves for the budget, and that is Queen Jags. Queen Jags are one of the best gloves that honestly anybody can rock. You know, it's just something about Queen Jags, and they're so sexy to look at. And with such a sexy glove, you need a sexy deep color to match the gloves. And I think for the best knife for the budget, the Ruby Navaja. The Ruby and the Queen Jags just go hand in hand with this knife. It's just so sexy and clean. I think the Navaja is really just an overhated knife. I think when you pull it out, it makes that little nice click sound. Sure, it's not the biggest blade, but for what our budget is, I think this knife does so much with this combo. At the end of the day, you gotta remember we're spending 500 bucks. With 500 bucks, you get your gut knives, you get your falchion knives, you get your Navaja. All these knives say one thing about the user, and that they're humble. These are all humble knives, okay? This shows where we have started in the game and where we move forward when it comes out to our loadout. I would rock this combo now, honestly. I wouldn't mind rocking this combo. It's just so, it's like how they say in Top Gear, this shit is superb. But, you know, with that being said, here's my $500 combo. I hope you enjoy the video. Come join the Discord if you want to talk more about skins and whatnot, or see when I go live. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy the video, and see you next time. Peace.